Итак, всем привет, это Саня Игроман. Начинаем играть в игру Call of Juarez Gunslinger. Поехали. Сложность будет обычная. Абелен, Канзас, 1910 год.
Don't I know you, sir?
Don't believe so. I haven't been here in many years. Name's Silas Greaves.
Silas Greaves? The bounty hunter?
Used to be.
Ah, well, what are you doing here in Abilene?
Just passing through. Got a little business to take care of.
Well, sir, it would be an honor if you would allow me to buy you a beer.
Hell, son, it would be my honor to drink it.
I'm Molly. Howdy.
I'm Dwight. That's Jack and Steve. Ben's behind the bar. Oh, I bet you got some great stories.
A couple.
Any of them true?
Jack, be nice.
A few.
What about your shootout with Henry Plummer's gang in Bannock, Montana? Is that where you started as a bounty hunter? That's what it says in this here dime novel.
Don't believe everything you read in them dime novels, boy. First man I hunted was back when I was riding with Billy the Kid.
You knew Billy the Kid?
Damn right. That scrawny son of a bitch had no fear. Wouldn't back down for nobody.
I heard he collected the 10 stars off any crooked lawman who crossed it.
It was a war, boy. The Lincoln County War. And Billy promised his regulators would take the life of every bastard who helped bushwhack John Tunstall.
Kid had a big chip on his shoulder and a hair-trigger temper. Made him dangerous as hell.
Итак, первая глава. Однажды в Стинкин Спрингс нам придется встретиться с Билли Кидом, одним из преступников.
It was about 30 years ago. Billy was hiding out in an abandoned farm near Stinking Springs. I threw in with the kid because the man I had sworn vengeance on was riding with Billy's enemies. But before I tell you why I want that sumbitch dead, let me tell you what happened that day. I was heading back to the hideout when suddenly I had this funny feeling.
Funny, haha?
No, Steve. The other kind of funny.
Ну что ж, начинаем. Так, нас просят держать кнопку Back. И перед нами открылось меню навыков. Так. Навыки стрелок, зверолов, рейнджер. Так, как видите, в правом верхнем углу у меня уже второй уровень. Это несмотря на то, что я уже, когда тестировал игру, успел поиграть немножко. Так. А если я не хочу выбирать очко навыков? А придется. Так, ну здесь пусто. Мычат коровы. Так, и какое у нас задание? Вернуться в убежище. Так, нажмите кнопку Back, чтобы открыть задание. Открываем снова. Звездочка указывает, куда нам надо идти.
I knew those two morons would never let me through. I had no choice.
Так, и вот препятствия. Двое уже здесь. Ждут нас. Так, 6 патронов из 60. Так, как бы нам их обойти? Вот интересно мне знать. А в принципе никак. Сейчас придется нам немножко пострелять.
Is he with us?
Черт, заметили? Прицелимся в голову. Прицелимся в голову. Так, вы срабатываете опыт, убивая врагов. Опыт необходим для перехода на новый уровень и получения дополнительных способностей. Так, ну двоих мы убили.
Was it Pat Garrett's posse?
Oh, yeah. I heard the shots and I knew I had to move fast. Garrett and his army of deputies had surrounded the entire homestead.
Так, задание спасти Билли Кида и его банду. Ну мы так сейчас и сделаем. Будем аккуратно проходить. Я думаю, так.
Come on, get him from the left. Keep on shooting. Don't let him catch a breath. Fire!
Вот я одного уже вижу. Он далеко.
They're coming from the
I
rear.
decided to help Billy and the boys out a bit. So that's just what I did.
Ваш индикатор концентрации заряжается при стрельбе по врагов. Нажмите А, чтобы продолжить. Что ж, нажимаем кнопку RB, то есть правую кнопку. Концентрация. На. Ай, блядь. Тем не менее. Промазал. А если вот так? Голову, отлично.
As the governor of New Mexico was paying for the kid's apprehension, Garrett was able to hire every gun hand in Lincoln County.
Тихо. Так. Так, кто где? А если вот так? Отлично. О, супер. Без косяков.
Do you myself? You think you can kill me too? You can't hide forever.
А кто где есть? Где же вы прячетесь, ребятки? Я-то не прячусь. Получай.
Garrett's men were running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off. Still, one of them reached the water tower.
Оу.
Not a bad idea. It would be a turkey shoot from up there.
Оба. Супер. Получай. Вот так.
Luckily, these shooters Garrett hired weren't the sharpest tools in the shed.
Show yourself, coward! You think you can kill me too?
Это кто такой крутой меня валит, а, сейчас там?
A lot of
вот
them
ты
were
где.
saddle tramps or sod busters or drunken drifters looking to make a few bucks.
Kill him, for Christ's sake!
Эй, тихо, тихо. Вот так. Хорошо, когда тебе вот эти бочки есть. По ним стреляешь и валишь.
Then, I heard a friendly voice yelling at me from the window. Back door! We'll cover you!
Так, задние двери
Truth be
фермерского
told,
дома.
things weren't much better behind the house.
А где это? Что они просят-то? Сюда, что ли, вы издеваетесь? А, все, понял. Сейчас мы поменяем тактику. Мы с другой стороны обойдем сейчас их. А как обойти-то? Так ты не обойдешь. А вот обойдешь. Так, стоп, куда это я побежал-то?
Watch your flank! Where'd he come from? Get out here, you coward! Kill him, for Christ's sake! Someone shoot that bastard!
Cut their numbers in half. but that just made the ones that were left twice as mad.
You can't take us all on.
They made up for their lack of skill with a seemingly endless supply of ammo.
Мы вот так умеем. Ну-ка, дружище, сейчас мы тебя снимем. Так, зайти внутрь и найти Билли Кида, да? Сейчас найдем. А сперва пособираем
It was a bit of a slog,
патроны.
but I finally fought my way around the back of the house.
Рано нам сюда заходить. Так. Да, с двумя пистолетами, конечно, круто. Так, залезем наверх. Тут осмотримся. А вот она бочка. Тяжело ее заметить. И тихо.
And like that, I was inside, none the worse for wear.
Deader than a rat in a trap.
I passed Dirty Dave,
How about that?
and upstairs I
You like
found
that?
Billy and Charlie Baldry.
Так, зайти внутрь, найти Билли Кида. Ну, сейчас мы зайдем. Дайте хоть здесь осмотреться. А здесь пусто. А вот и Билли. Меткий стрелок. 21 убийство к 21 году. Чертовски умен. Это Билли Кид.
Billy looked at me and said, "About time, amigo. Grab a gun and get to the window."
Wait, so you were friends with Billy the Kid?
Yeah, sort of. Anyway, we were surrounded by dozens of deputized shooters who wanted to do us harm.
Dead or alive. I can keep this up all day. I think I got one. Where the hell did I get you? He's missing all the action.
Так, это рано еще. Нам здесь с этим разобраться надо.
I'm telling you,
Сосать.
Garrett's men were dropping like flies, but they
Сосать.
just kept on coming.
Сосать.
That's when Charlie got hit. They're catching us in a crossfire, shouted
Пуля в
Billy.
голову.
Get to the other side.
Хедшот. Что, поймали, твари? Получили? Ну где прячетесь, хлопчики? Тихо.
I
Лови
don't know how
хедшот.
many of those cocksuckers I personally put down. It was pretty clear,
Reflex.
even to Billy, that maybe discretion was the better part of valor.
What's that mean?
It means that it was time to cut and run. They got a Gatling, Billy shouted. Get the horses and bring them round back. I'll draw their attention.
Ну, уже трупы.
He directed that order at me. And I thought, why the hell do I have to do it? But I went anyway. Dumbass that I was back then.
Значит, пора с лошадьми идти.
Many would have fled in my place. But I had that false sense of invincibility that many young men have. Like Jack.
What are you saying, old man?
Jack, he was joshing me.
Ни одна пуля меня не
Yeah,
возьмет.
he better be.
Mr. Greaves, please continue.
Please, call me Silas, ma'am. Now, where was I?
Ой, блин. А кто стреляет-то?
That's it.
А, вот ты где. А, ищи щитовики. Получай. В головешку. Так, у нас еще один... А, третий уровень же открылся, да? И одно очко навыков. Ну, мы пока что его сохраним. Так, одну минуточку. Надо кое-что проверить. Так, продолжаем. Так, а сохраниться можно, интересно не знать? Нет, нельзя.
You were heading for the barn.
Could have caught you, boy.
Так, это мы его в рукопашную положили.
Making my way past a passel of fallen foes.
Ух ты!
Sounds like Garrett hired a whole regiment of hired
Хороший
guns.
хедшот.
Yeah, and just when I thought I was done with them, more of these hapless bastards would pop up.
Сосать. Ну это вон нас упали. А вот так, если... На тебе. Хорошая штука винтовка. Но два пистолета круче. Два пистолета это круто.
Finally, I had the stables within my reach.
Время идти за конями. Точнее, за лошадьми.
And that's when I met Sheriff Pat Garrett.
I read that you went toe-to-toe with him, sir. That backstabbing bastard with that tacked-on tin star.
Дуэль. Это будет дуэль с шерифом. Вот шериф. Гордый, хорош собой, неуклюжий. Пэт Гарретт, шериф.
You challenged him to a showdown.
You read that in a dime novel?
It said he showed no fear as he took your measure with eyes like a rattlesnake.
Так, вот тут надо быть аккуратней. Так, используйте правый стик на джойстике, чтобы следить за противником. Нажмите А, чтобы продолжить. Ну, понятное дело. Так. Тихо. Куда он пойдет? Тогда ваш противник потянется за револьвером, нажмите RT. Так. Кнопочку RT, чтобы достать свое оружие, прицелиться с помощью RS, а затем стрелять, используя RT. Так. RT, чтобы достать свое оружие, потом прицелиться с помощью RS. Ага, так. Правый стик, то бишь. Так, хорошо, сейчас попробуем. И я погиб. Ай-яй-яй. С первого раза не всегда получается. Так, 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 следить за противником. Куда ты улетел-то, а? О,
And he
headshot.
killed her in a fair fight.
Is that what that Penny Dreadful said? No, boy. That ain't what I meant when I said I met Pat Garrett.
Круто это
So let
было.
me start again. I finally reached those damn stables.
Так, используем сейчас очко навыка последнее. Так, стрелок. Сконцентрир... А, концентрация. Давайте используем. На концентрацию потратим. Бегим в сарай.
And stepped inside, and
И на тебя.
last thing I heard was Garrett's
Нас
voice.
оглушили.
That's not Billy.
And go on. How did it end?
And, boy, that was just the beginning.
Ну то ж, продолжаем.
So what happened? Did Garrett arrest you?
Yeah, after I came to, bastard had clocked me with his Colt.
And the kid surrendered?
When he realized there was no getting out of there alive,
So they locked you up in Lincoln?
indeed they did. Sentenced me to hang right along with the kid.
Так, сейчас будет побег из тюрьмы у нас. Следующая миссия. Что ж, начинаем.
It's important to know that I was only riding with Billy so I could find the bastard I was after.
Тюрьма Линкольн, 28 апреля 1881 года, через 4 месяца.
He was with John Kinney's gang, and they were sworn enemies of Billy's regulators.
Why were you after him?
I owed that son of a bitch a bullet for what he had done to me and mine. Instead, all I got for myself was a goddamn death sentence. Luckily, it was right around then that I heard Billy make his move. He shot Jim Bell and a few other guards as he made his getaway. Later, they wrote that some lady friend planted a pistol for him in the privy. What the papers didn't say is that Billy helped me escape too.
Так, нам просили ключики.
My first
Взяли
order of
ключики.
business was finding a firearm.
Так, удержать X, чтобы открыть. Открываем. И выходим. Так, тут у нас ничего нету.
Luckily, I located Deputy Bob Ollinger's mean-ass shotgun.
Выйти. 80-го калибра, громко как динамит. Может разорвать человека пополам. Дробовик Боба Оллинджера. Хороший дробовичок. Двустволочка.
I saw Billy through the window, and he yelled that I should take to the rooftops to make my escape. So I did.
Anybody see Billy?
Да.
Son of a bitch shot Jim Bell!
The kids escaped raised a huge ruckus. Hell yeah. That scatter gun was like a double-barreled howitzer. It could blow a man clear off his feet. You hardly had to aim the damn thing. Guards were everywhere looking for him.
Can't let the kid get away!
Это побег. Так.
Anybody see him?
I had to jump from roof to roof like a damn alley cat. I followed the planks where I could, but some of that wood was slippery as hell. The whole town was up in arms. And suddenly, I was a fugitive.
Get the hell! The kid escaped. Garrett's gonna kick our ass! Can't have gotten far! Gotta be around here somewhere. Then he broke out of jail.
So that bastard you were after, what did he do?
He did me and my family a grievous harm. But I knew if I was ever gonna find him, I would need to get my ever-loving ass out of there. I tried to be stealthy and sneak my way past.
This town doesn't have a moment's peace.
Так, будем пробиваться через городок. Здесь будет куда сложнее.
But hell, if they weren't all waiting for me.
И лучше это делать
Apparently, some of them
присидку.
thought I was Billy.
You hooligans can go to hell.
Let him get away! Kill him!
Отлично.
You're dead!
Приятель.
Time to die! You maniac!
Так, перезарядим.
He's in town somewhere.
See, me and the kid shared a certain similarity in build and coloring. I was just glad I had Deputy Bob's mean-ass shotgun.
На.
Put down your weapon!
Ага, хрен уж я тебя.
Had enough? Give it up! You did not!
А, вот ты где, тварь.
Get away with me! Show yourself, coward! Surrender yourself!
Берем два револьвера и вперед. Тут надо быть чертовски осторожным. Врагов здесь повсюду.
Leave him to me! Get your headstone!
There's children here.
So much lead was whizzing by my head, it was like everyone in Lincoln wanted to put me in the ground. I knew I needed to find a horse. Though I never did have a great fondness for those four-legged grass eaters. Smelly, sweaty, ungrateful beasts. We prize them too high, if you ask me.
Надо привыкнуть к этой концентрации. Не очень легко привыкнуть к этой концентрации. Когда врагов много, а ты один. Где он мне всадил-то пулю, а? Где этот трус? Где этот трус? А, вот ты где. Получай. Наугад в голову. Обожаю револьверы. Да и ружьишко неплохое. Хорошо себя показал ружьишко. Я так думаю.
But where was the kid while you were busy getting shot at?
Gone. And that's when it occurred to me why Billy set me free.
Стоять. Так, дробовик, винтовка, да? Сменим на винтовочку. Винтовочка дальнобойней будет.
So I could be a hapless decoy and draw attention while he snuck out of town. I knew if I made it out of there in one piece, no one would put a price on
По
my
яйцам.
head.
Because everybody in Lincoln would be dead?
No. They all thought I was Billy. And all that blame would fall on him. Meanwhile, Deputy Bob Ollinger was organizing a posse to put me down. He was already a mean son of a bitch, but he was doubly pissed that I stole his mean-ass shotgun. Anyway, it was me or them, and the only way forward led me straight to perdition. But the cards were dealt, and I had no choice but to play them.
Guess you've had enough. Let him get away.
Не, я пойду так. Так, откуда палят?
Cheap shit when Pat gets back.
А я чертовски хороший снайпер. Кто-то крутой, а? Что он не по дыням стрелять, не по тыквам. Хрена лысого.
Finally, I found what I was looking for. The stables on the edge of town.
Так, ящик с патронами. Так, 10 из 31 патрона, да? Это тюрьма, с которой мы сбежали.
Yes, Billy saved your ass, taking out Bob Ollinger the way he did.
Billy didn't kill Bob.
Sure he did. He dispatched him right after he shot Deputy Bell.
No, sir. Because Bob came right up behind me, angry as hell that Billy had lit out. Hello, Bob, I said.
А вот и Бобби.
I think you better let me go. And he says, I don't think so, boy. Not with my shotgun. So we stood there in the middle of the street, eyeball to eyeball.
Так, и
He
вот
intended
очередная
to kill
дуэль.
me, and I knew I had no choice but to defend myself.
Тихо, тихо, тихо. Услышав биение сердца, вы можете выхватить оружие первым. Этот поступок будет отмечен как бесчетный и оценен соответственно. Тихо. Оба убиты. Оба убиты. Опять оба убиты. Твою мать. Твою мать. Черт. Ну-ка, дружище. Еще разок. И как его убить, а? В этой дуэли. Тихо, тихо. куда? Куда?
Some say
Получай.
I fought unfairly, but they weren't the ones looking him in the eye that day. Pat Garrett gunned down Billy 3 months later, so his escape was all for naught anyway.
Бесчестное убийство, да, было? Надо было по-честному его убить.
So where'd you go after Lincoln?
Mexico. Until I realized nobody was looking for me. I ended up taking a job at the Rurales.
The Mexican Rurales?
I was hired to help them track down the cowboys.
Эпизод 2. Ковбои.
The most vicious outlaw gang in Cochise County? Curly Bill Brocious? Johnny Ringo?
Led by old man Clanton himself.
They must have paid you a pretty penny to take them hombres on.
Not really. But truth be told, I had my own reasons for going after those boys.
Так, миссия пуля для старика. Да? Так, это мы уже теперь в Мексику отправились. Так, каньон,
So was the bastard you were after now riding with the cowboys?
Roscoe Bob Bryant was his name.
Oh.
But no, this time it was a different bastard I was after. The aforementioned Mr. Ringo. And yes, he was working for old man Clanton.
Так, с помощью крестика мы можем вот так сделать. 2 револьвера, 1 револьвер или винчестер получить. Так, наша миссия. Что не указывают? Не указывают.
I came upon them robbing a stagecoach, which wasn't surprising, being they were such murderous thieves and bastards. The bandits wore red scarves, so I knew they worked for the old man.
Over there! There!
I did my best to help those poor passengers.
Okay, now you're really pissing me off.
Moments later, the attackers were dead, and I checked the stagecoach to see how many passengers were still breathing. None.
Никто не выжил.
It was then I wondered if the rocks weren't hiding more bandits. Was that all of them? Or did I just hit the rear guard? I quickly got my answer. They attacked from on high like Apaches often do. They would appear in great numbers from above and rain down lead on their hapless enemies' heads.
Индейцы, что ли?
Making use of the high ground and whatever else they had.
Эй, сколько вас там?
Yep, the Apaches always appeared out of nowhere, and there never seemed to be an end to them.
Hold on. Were you
Ёбаные
attacked by
индейцы,
Apaches?
охереть.
What happened to the cowboys?
Did I say they were Apaches? I said Clanton's cowboys attacked me Apache style. I was in a pitched battle, but I was holding my own against an overwhelming enemy force.
Получай. Получай.
See, at the time,
Получай.
I was still pretty green and would often blunder into regrettable situations. But I just kept shooting at anything I could see up in those damn rocks. I didn't see Ringo, but I knew he was with the cowboys. He and Roscoe Bob had done me a dreadful wrong, and I was determined to have my revenge. But to get to Ringo, I knew I'd have to fight my way past these other assholes first.
Hard to hit a moving target. Stand and fight, you coward!
Твою мать, я что, не достаю его даю, что ли? А вот так. Ёб твою мать. Ой-ой-ой. Как вас много. Как вас много, а? Так, очередной навык. Меткий стрелок, раскаленный ствол. О, быстро перезарядка револьвера, да? А здесь ну что? Возможно, здесь больше патронов. Сделаем так. Соси. Соси. А ты откуда взялся, а? Ты кого-то это назвала?
Unfortunately, I was running out of ammo. Another perfect example of my relative inexperience as a hunter of men. I'm ending you. I immediately knew that a tactical retreat was called for, as my vengeful fury was much less impressive without the bullets to back it up. Can't outrun a
Твою мать.
Finally, they managed to corner me. Trapped as I was, the odds of my survival seemed pretty slim.
Whoop.
Luckily, serendipity was on my side as I suddenly spotted a way out of my predicament.
Вот, бежать. О, это меня спасло.
He's getting away!
И патронов мало.
I ran ahead as if the devil himself was after me. Bullets were whizzing by my ears, but I wasn't about to roll over and die. I just kept running like there was no tomorrow. Because there wouldn't be if Clanton and his men caught up with me. As I was scurrying around those caves, I thought, what was I thinking? Going up against a gang like this? I just kept running, not knowing where the hell I was going. And that's when something miraculous happened. Like manna from heaven. I found the desiccated remains of what looked like an Apache warrior. The old weapon next to him supplied me with some much-needed ammunition. Bat Masterson once told me it was more important to be lucky than good, and he would know.
Это был индеец. Дальше-то куда? А, вот куда звездочка указывает.
And imagine my surprise when I found a fistful of dynamite to go along with that ammo.
Так, используйте стрелочки на джойстике, чтобы выбрать динамит, или нажмите левую кнопку LB для быстрого броска. Ага, понял.
That stroke of good fortune evened the odds and bolstered my confidence. It was time to turn the tables. Time for the prey to become the predator. Time for the hunted to become the hunter. Time.
All right, Jesus, we get it. They were right where you wanted them.
That's right, Jack. I was done running. The old man's boys were not expecting that. No, sir. I came at them like a wildcat. My fury knew no bounds.
Неплохая вещь. Хорошо он их так разнес по разным сторонам. Что ж такое, а? Не вовремя я потратил динамит. Не вовремя.
It was finally time for that old man to pay for his sins.
Это кого там цыпленка-то назвала Вася? Сумасбродный, зорный, чертовски подлый старик Клентон.
I yelled out at the top of my lungs, "Clanton, I'm coming for you!" A little stealth might have made
Тяжело
more
вытупить
sense,
этого
to be
старика.
perfectly honest. Because that old fool had a Gatling gun and enough bullets to last him till kingdom come. But I knew I could not let that deter me. Not if I was to find and kill Ringo. I needed to get that old man off that gun.
Тем не менее, почти добрался.
Most everyone thought it was the Ruales who had come up against him in Guadalupe Canyon, but it was just me.
Hey, let's see what you're made of, boy! Wait! Goddamn book!
Бляха, убил. Ай-яй, убил. Ой, блядь. Блядь. Ой-ой. Так, садимся. Бежать, бежать!
What a piece of crap! You a stupid zombie!
Не туда я забежал.
Why are you so afraid to face me, huh? Would you get that? Do I gotta reload again? Wait, goddamn book!
Ай, блядь. Сука, сука.
Most everyone thought it was the Ruales who had come up against him in Guadalupe Canyon. But it was just me.
What a piece of crap! I don't know how you live this long. Would you just die? Shrapnel of mine! What I ever do to you?
Ай, блядь, сука. Сука.
This long. Stop your hiding from me! What I ever do to you? Damn, I gotta reload! Would you just die?
Ты, дядька, сдохнешь. Сейчас сдохнешь реально. Тихо. Так.
Apparently, one of the cowboys made it out of there alive and told Ike and Billy Clanton that it wasn't a Mexican who took their father's life that day. They just assumed it was one of the Earps, and that little misunderstanding eventually led to that legendary gunfight at the OK Corral.
Разобрались мы со стариком. И отправляемся на лесопилку. Там сейчас будет перестрелка. И вот на
A
лесопилку.
few weeks after that dust-up at the OK Corral, I was still after Johnny Ringo. I had tracked him and the cowboys to their hideout at a sawmill, and they were loaded for bear.
Somebody's coming!
Кто твою мать?
So, what exactly did Johnny Ringo do to piss you off?
Well, him and that other bastard.
Roscoe Bob Bryant?
Yep. They both deserve to die, and I promise I'll tell you why. But first I need to tell you about the Cowboys' new boss, Curly Bill Brocious.
Herb's coming!
Get ready, boys.
Так. На вам динамитик. Получил.
Curly Bill took charge of the cowboys upon the old man's demise. And after that gunfight at the OK Corral, the Clantons wanted revenge.
Так, стоп. Получил. Получай.
So they murdered Morgan Earp and grievously wounded his older brother, Virgil. Wyatt and Doc went on what became known as the Vendetta Ride, hunting those outlaws down. So when I showed up, that's who they thought I was.
We're waiting for you.
А патронов все меньше.
You shoot the son of a bitch. That's it for you.
Да, иди сюда. Ой, блядь. Сука. Где ты взялся?
But first I need to tell you about the Cowboys' new boss, Curly Bill Brocious.
Herb's coming!
Get ready, boys.
Твою-то мать. Ну, кто-то погиб.
Curly Bill took charge of the Cowboys upon the old man's demise. And after that gunfight at the OK Corral, the Clantons wanted revenge.
Somebody kill him! Got something for you!
They murdered Morgan Earp and grievously wounded his older brother, Virgil.
son of a bitch! Is that one of Wyatt's boys? I'm done with you!
Ёб твою мать, блять.
But first I need to tell you about the cowboy's new boss, Curly Bill Brocious.
Herb's coming!
Get ready, boys. Curly Bill took charge of the cowboys upon the old man's demise. And after that gunfight at the OK Corral, the Clantons wanted revenge.
Сейчас я буду вас выкуривать понемножку.
Wyatt and Doc went on what became known as the Vendetta Ride, hunting those outlaws down. So when I showed up, that's who they thought I was.
Лихо. Ну-ка, появись.
That's it for you!
Тут что, никого нету, что ли? Уже все, положил всех. Винтовочка еще пригодится. Так, тут живых, по-моему, уже никого. Ребятушки, вы где? Так, звездочка показывает сюда нам идти. Ой.
There were killers around every corner, all wearing red bandanas. That's how the cowboys identified each other. And I was beginning to wish I had one myself.
О, как лихо. Не убегай.
You're dead.
But I wasn't about to let Ringo walk away unscathed. And that's what drove me forward.
Один хрен я круче.
Just killed Red.
They say that Ringo was infernally fast.
I hardly saw anyone faster, boy. Certainly not Wyatt Earp. That man was all hat and no cap.
Бежать.
Earp wasn't much of a match for him. But Doc Holliday might have taken it.
That lunger should have kept his nose out of it. They never charged anyone for the murder of Morgan Earp.
But everybody knew that Curly shot him in the back. That was common knowledge.
Yeah, maybe so. But Ringo had nothing to do with it. He was just being loyal to a friend.
Is that what you call it? Being loyal? Well, to get to that loyal friend, I had to pass by some buzzsaws as big as a man.
Так, извиняюсь, за кашель, приболел малость. Так, ну пока что в правильном направлении идем. Так, здесь у нас ничего интересного. Туалет. Тут тоже ничего нету.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
What's that, Dwight?
After old man Clanton died, why didn't his son take over the Cowboys?
Because Ike Clanton was dumber than a box of rocks and a yellow belly to boot.
Ага, тут не пройти. Идем дальше. Так, значит искать там Кручавого Билла, да?
Now, where was I?
Taking down the entire cowboy gang single-handed.
Indeed I was, Jack.
Come out, you yellow bastard! Kill him!
Хедшот. Так, давайте сразу улучшим навык. На бегу. Раскаленный ствол. Великолепно.
Though it wasn't easy, as those boys had good cover.
Ой, сколько их там.
You bastard! Can't believe you keep missing.
Давай, покажись.
You can't hide from me. There he is. See your eyes too now. Boy, you are shit out of luck. Oh, now what? Is this it? Dynamite! This is too good for old. Blank him.
There were carts everywhere, piles of lumber, and God knows what else for people to hide behind. That really was one hell of a sawmill. Quite an impressive operation.
Так, нам надо пробраться во двор до лесопилки. Практически пробираемся. Практически пробираемся.
And where was Curly Bill? Did you see him?
I'm about to get to that, Ben. Patience. I'm painting a picture here. There was this beautiful waterfall and a crystal clear stream that led to a verdant valley that was truly...
Consider your picture painted. What happened next?
Well, finally the bastards that were still alive made a last stand.
Так, что это мы открыли? Самородки истины. Джонни Ринго. Продолжаем дальше. Так, правильно ли я иду? Нет, неправильно.
Curly Bill, Johnny Ringo, and his compadres took off into the lumber yard, and I followed after.
А вот и он. Хлопнет, зарядит и хлопнет. Курчавый Билл. Очередная дуэль с боссом. Или нет?
Are you saying they ran? Cowardice was not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
No, sir. I never said they were running scared. They just wanted me out in the open.
Застрял курчавый Билл.
Brocious gave me no choice but to take his life.
Победа,
But
чистая
Ringo
победа.
was nowhere to be found.
Чистая победа.
I knew you didn't kill Ringo, because he was found dead in a different location altogether.
To this day, his killer is still unknown.
Indeed. Took me a few months before I finally tracked his ass to West Turkey Creek Canyon.
А вот и он. Снова. Следующий. Кто станет у руля и схватит пулю? Джонни Ринго. Что, дуэль, что ли, сейчас будет? Точно.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Ебать, тарахтеть. Что, опять друг друга убили? Твою мать. Тихо.
It's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Ой, блядь. Блядь. Твою мать. Твою там мать. Сейчас я промучаюсь с ним.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Бляха-муха. Ой, блядь, как вот я не люблю вот это. Так, ну давай сюда иди.
It's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Получай.
Sorry I had to ruin the legend for you, boy. But the legend ain't always true. Doc Holliday had nothing to do with the death of Johnny Ringo.
О, убит честно. Он был честно убит.
I was paid a healthy bounty for Ringo and Curly Bill, and realized there was real money to be made. That's why I went after Henry Plummer.
Now, wasn't he the sheriff who augmented his income by shaking down miners and robbing gold shipments?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. He ran that gang of thieving outlaws called the Innocents.
So it's true that you went toe-to-toe with him?
Indeed I did, son. Indeed I did.
Так, миссия «Великолепная одиночка». Кого на этот раз придется ловить и убивать?
I knew I needed resources if I was going to track down Roscoe Bob Bryant, and hunting Plummer looked like a good way to get rich quick. As the local vigilantes exposed him as the leader of the bandits, and put a generous price on his head. Plummer rallied his gang to plunder one last gold mine before making their escape, and that's where I thought I'd find him.
Так, вход в шахту. Один хрен сейчас придется воевать. Нет, так я только спалюсь. Он сейчас видел, там один разминается. Было дело. Так, процесс идет. Продолжаем играть. Так, найти вход. Ну, вход, по-моему, вот он, да? Нет.
It makes me nervous standing so close to all these goddamn barrels of gunpowder.
Why would you be nervous? No one has the components to come after us. As long as you don't light up a cigar, we're fine.
Besides, George is up there on the rocks with that rifle of his. Nothing gets past him.
А, вон они двое.
My late father pointed out to me more than once. God made men. And Samuel Colt made people.
Ой. И один на шухере. Вай. Револьвер Рейнджер, да? А у меня шестизарядник. Нет, это не возьму. Если бы я знал, что эти ящики тут находятся, я по ящикам и стрелял бы. Так, я так понял, нам сюда. Как нет? Вы что, издеваетесь? А вдруг тут что-то есть полезное? Ведь действительно есть полезное. Так, секретик. Так, очередной навык. Меткий стрелок на больших расстояниях, да? Орлиный глаз. Прицеливание через мушку замедляет время. Возьмем. Возьмем. Так, стоп, а наверху здесь что у нас? А, это просто вылезти наверх, да? Да, это просто вылезти наверх. Так, стоп, еще раз. Сейчас мы идем правильно.
I knew that dynamite wasn't mine, so I decided the polite thing would be to return it.
Вежливо вернуть, да хрен вам, а не вернуть.
It was the biggest gold rush since Sutter's Mill in '48. Unfortunately, prospectors weren't the only ones drawn to those riches.
Можно стрелять по динамиту в воздухе. Во.
There were thieves and killers, robbing travelers and hijacking gold shipments. Like those that ran with Plummer. Some were just regular folks I knew from town, drawn by greed and easy pickings. Charlie Crow, the blacksmith. James, who worked in the stable. Sam and Jeremiah Barber, the butcher's sons. Ordinary citizens who lived a double life. Stealing and thieving and murdering their neighbors.
Так, продолжаем идти вперед. Получай впритык.
Of course, the rest were veterans of the Civil War. Stone-cold killers trained on the bloody fields of Shiloh and Antietam. Dangerous, desperate individuals. Plummer had a lot of men on his payroll. A hell of a lot. That son of a bitch pretended to protect the public with one hand while stealing them blind with the other.
Bullets! I can't hear you!
He's set up a defensive perimeter which I had no idea how to breach. I was outnumbered and in way over my head, but I was too damn stubborn and stupid to realize it. They must have thought I was touched, or had some kind of death wish, seeing as there were barrels of gunpowder everywhere.
Watch out for the goddamn gunpowder!
One stray bullet, one stray spark, and I'd be blown to hell and gone. Did I have any second thoughts about what I was doing? No.
Time to die! Come on out, you yellow bastard! Okay, now you're really pissing me off.
Oh yeah.
I thought I was some kind of hero.
Так, куда путь держать?
I finally made it past and headed on to meet my destiny. But first, I had something I needed to figure out.
Так, куда нам идти? По этой дороге же, да?
I had a few ideas on how to get into that mine, but once I made my decision, I knew there was no turning back. So my first thought was to enter the nearest mine portal. I saw an entrance. Made sense. It was the quickest way in, but that also made it more dangerous, as there would undoubtedly be enemy pickets posted along the way.
Даже вагонетку не толкнуть, да? Что, динамитом, что ли, балуются? Ой, убили. Ой, убили, ой, убили.
Let's do this. Put that moron out of his misery. What are you, yellow? Do you know who we are?
Блять. Сам себя чуть не убил.
Time to blow your shit up. Get out of here. You ain't beefing me.
А где ты есть, а? А, вот ты где.
Besides, once you enter a mine like that, it's easy to get all turned around. And that confusing maze of corridors wouldn't even be the worst of it.
Murder that bastard!
Some of those shafts could be as deep as hell.
You or me? You can't hide forever. See me do it again?
A single stumble or misstep can easily end in a deadly plunge to oblivion.
Oh, my damn ears are ringing.
Так, ну понятно дело, что он вниз. А дальше-то куда? Так, а секретики какие-нибудь есть? Никаких, по-моему.
Quick reflexes often make up for a lack of common sense. Luckily, I was never one to be easily bushwhacked. I would just need to be careful not to blow myself to kingdom come.
Да я его хорошо застал врасплох. Так, я полагаю, нам вниз идти, да?
With all that gunpowder and dynamite everywhere, a body has to know what he's shooting at.
Ой-ой.
All it takes is one tiny spark, and boom.
И бум, действительно, что бум.
Take him! You can't hide forever.
Так, дайте мне подняться.
That was too damn close.
I can't hear you. Had enough.
Мы сейчас вот как сделаем.
As a boy,
себя
I
сам.
always loved the 4th of July.
Твою мать.
Thank you. I do not deserve to die like this.
Так, дайте мне залезть.
Get out of here. That was just too damn close. Oh, my damn ears are ringing. You ain't beefing me. Come on at you.
Сколько взрывчатки, а? Ой-ой.
Take that asshole out.
Да как же так? Ёб твою мать.
Surprise!
Ой-ой-ой.
I will drop you down mine shaft.
One wrong bullet could have turned that mine into a dad-blasted tomb.
Ой-ой. Вот это бум был. Надо было пулю отбить.
I freely admit that my plan of attack was not just moronic, but clearly insane. It's a good thing that I abandoned that ridiculous plan before I even tried it.
Вагонетка, офигеть.
Instead, I spotted a ladder, a way into the mine from the opposite side.
А, лестница.
It was a long way around, but that approach seemed more sensible at the time. Of course, being I had a problem with heights, that scaffolding scared the bejesus out of me. Climbing down that ladder required some caution, because even though I had a younger man's reflexes, no man can dodge a damn bullet while climbing down a rickety ladder. I needed to make a leap of faith, which ain't easy when you're suspended between heaven and hell. I was determined not to give up, however. That Sheriff Plummer seemed quite the despicable character. When the vigilantes discovered what the sheriff was up to, people were outraged. That 10,000 they put on his head would go a long way to helping me find old Bob. And I had made it my mission to settle that score come hell or high water.
Оп. Это уже теперь альтернативный вход в шахту, которым можно было воспользоваться, но не воспользовались.
But first, I would have to make a choice. Take the elevator or climb the ladder.
А где лифт?
I picked the more convenient and more dangerous route.
Ух, блядь. Твою мать. Попался как. Не, лифтом я не воспользуюсь. А выбора и нету. А может и есть.
I wanted to use the element of surprise. Plus, I figured I could use the exercise. I was warmed up already, so what the hell?
убийством или элемент неожиданности.
Plummer was a mad dog killer, and the people of Nevada City deserved better.
Nevada City? Well, I thought Plummer met his maker in Bannock, Montana.
Ёб твою мать, как так? Ой, блядь. Ой, блядь.
Right, well, he was the sheriff of both places at one time or another, but that's neither here nor there.
I do not deserve to die.
Ой, блядь. Ай-я. Невезуха. Ой. Ой.
You ain't beefing me. The point was, taking him down would save a lot of lives, including my own.
Дальше-то куда? А дальше вниз. Законник. Бандит. Преступник Генри Пламмер. О, почему-то на президента Линкольна похож.
This is gonna hurt. Well, this day is just getting worse and worse for me. Hey.
Henry Plummer was clearly unhinged, and I could see right away that this was going to take some doing.
Ой, блядь. Ой, блядь, сука. Крутой парень. Ой. Ой, блядь, сука, нахуй, сука. Откуда такой крутой-то взялся, а? О, запущено все. Так, тут все очень-очень круто. Самородки истины. Кто там у нас открылся-то? Дружинники.
Gonna blow you into next week, boy! I can shoot too!
Воу.
That one, didn't you? No blood money for you today! You can shoot, but can you aim? They're gonna bury you in a million pieces!
Ай.
You ain't taking me!
Ой, блядь. Ой, блядь. Ой. Крутой парень.
All medieval on your ass!
Ой, блядь. Какой он крутой, а? Ой, блядь.
Gonna blow you into next week, boy! You can shoot, but can you aim? No blood money for you today! Why not just give up and die? You ain't taking me!
Как все круто. Ой. Ой, блядь, сука. Твою мать. Где ты там прячешься, а?
That one, didn't you? I'm going all medieval on your ass. They're gonna need a dustpan to pick you up. You can shoot, but can you aim?
Ой, сука. Ой, блядь. Опять, что ли? Да ты прикалываешься. Нет.
They're gonna bury you in a million pieces. Whoa! Time to blow your shit up. Blood money for you today. They're gonna bury you in a million pieces.
Ой, блядь. Твою мать. Чем дальше, тем сложнее.
I can shoot too. Move. Don't toy with him. Just
твою мать! Откуда я знаю, в каком направлении пуля полетит, а? Ой! Ёб твою...
I'm going full medieval on your ass. They're gonna bury you in a million pieces. Show yourself. You ain't taking me.
So that's how Henry Plummer died. Him and his crew were worth their weight in gold.
Наконец-то я его убил.
And now, I was officially a bounty hunter.
Наконец-то убил тварь эту сраную.
So, did you finally go after that Bob feller?
Well, I heard word he was in Kansas with John Wesley Hardin. So that's where I went.
Where in Kansas?
Abilene. Why do you ask, Ben?
No reason.
Was Hardin as fast as Ringo?
Ringo was fast, but John Wesley was as fast as the devil himself.
Джон Уэсли Хардин.
Hell, he killed his first man at 15. From that day forward, he had a price on his head and wouldn't back down for nobody, not even Wild Bill Hickok himself.
Быстрый или мертвый? Следующая миссия. Ну что ж, дорогие друзья, думаю, на этом мы закончим сегодняшний стрим. Не забывайте подписываться на канал, ставить лайки. Всем до новых встреч и пока.